Good afternoon, agents. You all know why you're here. It's that time of year again for performance appraisals based on the varsity successes of the season. And I've taken into account all the stats and the business cases. I've spoken to my aide Esme, who's filled me in on how you've been performing whilst I've been out of the office. It's not been an easy task, but an important one. As you're aware, the budgets have been slightly short this year. What I didn't tell you was that was because of the purchase of this Sunseeker boat for my mobile office. Keeping it secret is important within business, unlike some of the gossip in the office. But it's time now. I've reviewed everything on paper, and I'd like to speak to you individually about how you think your performance has been this year for the varsity season and how the sports teams have done. So I'd like to start off with you, Michael. Michael, if you talk to me about the sports teams.
So varsity this year has been fantastic. The best we've had. We are now within the top 30, which I'd like to think that's because of myself.
What about the mistakes, Michael? Certain areas this year?
Tennis individual entries. I was meant to do them on one day. I probably didn't do them that day. However, after the deadline passed, I then spoke to Bucks and actually got submitted as a late entry. And until now, tennis weren't actually aware of that. So,
okay. Main highlights though for your area?
Probably our individual athletes. Some highlights in teams, women's football, women's rugby, men's football. There's been some real successes this year. Absolutely fantastic. A big shout out to the lacrosse as well. Women's team unbeaten all year and won their cup final 25-1.
Some great successes, but still, some improvements, especially from your performance of damaging university assets. It's costing me money. Okay, Stuart, moving on to you. Strength and conditioning, key area for us as a university.
We had some pretty successful results. There's some good, strong people around now. Pretty sure that's translated to the performance on the field. Also translated to three medals for weightlifting.
Any disciplinary issues?
Yeah. There's been some disciplinary issues with regards to a team or two or an individual or two. They've been managed and dealt with. Those people will inevitably pay for their appalling behaviour.
So Philip, moving on to you, supporting the team. How's it been going?
It's been going very well. Very few paper cuts. Photocopy is working well. Laminator's still going. I've also been playing for the volleyball team. That's going very well. Coaching the basketball team. It's been very good. And then assisting Michael to achieve our best ever varsity results. So everything's going well.
Any fines from across the season?
There are the occasional fine that comes around at times when things might slightly be inputted incorrectly into a website.
Okay, and lastly, Debbie. Big strength in the team this year. Tell me how it's gone with the focus sports.
Volleyball men got through to the national Bucks final. Volleyball women came third nationally.
Yep, volleyball, great success this year.
Nurin is now on the world-class programme for weightlifting. Saskia is on podium potential for windsurfing. Martina won the Bucks boxing in her weight category.
Well, it's going to be a great loss to see you go, Debbie, but everyone's boots can be filled. Okay, well, team, I've looked through the stats. I've looked at the business cases you've all sent me. I've spoken to my aide, Esme, who's filled me in on your performance when I haven't been in the office this year. It's been an important role to step up when Helen's not here to oversee the team. But looking through the performances we've had some great wins, some great league championships, some great promotions to Premier League, some fantastic individual results and team efforts from the varsity guys. But what I'm concerned with is your performance. Some of you have made some great strides, which has been duly noted for future years and possible promotions. But some of you have stepped back, unfortunately, and aren't really attaining what I expect in my team. Mike, damage to the vehicle once again. Phil, a paper cut, not exactly productive. Stuart not wearing proper attire. I pride myself on how I look, you know, dapper. I expect the same from you. So it's
Sorry.
That-
So sorry,
Chris.
mate. The traffic was really bad. Please forgive me.
I don't want to hear it. What time do you call this? Christopher Payne. Everyone else was here on time. You, once again, are late. Your productivity, your performance has been fantastic. Statistically, you've hit your targets, but you can't find your way to West Hants. You can't find your way, apparently, out of campus. And being late for your appraisal is something that I cannot accept. And for that decision, Chris, you're fired. The rest of you, you know what to do. I'll see you on Monday. It's me. If you'd like to draft up a job advert, please. I think we might be needing a new participation manager.